So I am here at the Aquarium of the Pacific in the downstairs area. So here in this particular area, there's giant sea bass, ocean whitefish, California sheephead fish, leopard shark. So let's take a look here at some of the fish here. They're very large. So to put this in comparison, when you see that fish there, I'm gonna come back. You can kind of see those fish there. These fish look like they probably weigh at least maybe 150 pounds. They're very, very large. And there is a leopard shark in here as well, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. You've got a leopard shark. So just to put this into perspective of how large this is, I'm gonna come back. And there's the big one right there. So let me show you all this one. That is a very large fish. So let me put in perspective. So that's my hand compared to the fish. So as you can see there, that's a really, really big fish. I mean, it's almost the size of like a small child. That is a very, very, very beautiful. Very, yeah, they're definitely a good size. And then you got a school of fish here. If I back up, you guys can kind of see how big the aquarium is. It's fairly large. It's so you can kind of see there, it's not a small tank. And this is called Blue Cavern. So let's see some information about the Blue Cavern. I think that's what this is. It says the aquarium's Honda Blue Cavern, an underwater view of Santa Catalina Island. It says our Blue Cavern is 27 feet deep and holds 142,000 gallons. Molded after an actual underwater cavern at Santa Catalina Island that is more than 130 feet deep. It replicates the vertical walls, giant kelp, and rocky sand bottoms, habitats found in their natural blue cavern. Okay. So this replicates an actual area. So that I like that here, that a lot of times at this aquarium, they do create the exhibits to replicate that of what the fish would be in naturally. So a lot of this is what they have real kelp, real plants. So this is what they would essentially be living in the wild if they were in the wild. I'll let you guys take a look at that real quick, admire the fishies. Here's these big boys again. Beautiful, beautiful large fish. Okay, let's take a look and see some of the other areas what we have here. So we come into this area here. This is a backyard kelp forest. So that's what this is here to replicate. Very, very beautiful. As you come to this area here, you see you got more of these fish here. So these are some of the different fish here. You have a leopard shark, horn shark, senorita wrasse, bat, star, and black rockfish. So all sorts of different life here in this aquarium. Fish is checking me out, wants to know what I'm doing. They're probably so used to people at this point. And then you can see the rockfish at the bottom there, hence the name rockfish. They kind of look like little rocks, just sitting nuts there. And you got all the different sea stars here, or types of sea stars I should say. And yeah, there's all sorts of beautiful wildlife. They have lots of kelp, and this just gives it a much more natural look. And all the way in the back there's a giant moray eel. So it's really, really cool looking. Let's see what else we got here in this aquarium. So over here we have Jam out to the music. Okay, that's probably for children. So this is cool. It says, what do you notice about this snail shell? Can you find the albone in the habitat? Concha means a shell. So that's its shell. There it is there. So it almost looks like the shell becomes a habitat for a certain type of fish, like they use it as their home. I wonder what kind of fish are in here. So this is cool. It says endangered white abalone. The Aquarium of the Pacific raises abalone from their microscopic stages until they are ready to be moved or outplanted to their ocean habitat, giving them a head start for survival. So this kind of has the early development of it. So you can take a look there. That's kind of cool. So early development, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, a year and a half, 4 to 6 years. So it takes them about 4 to 6 years at 4 inches. Okay. It says the white abalone was the first marine invertebrate to be listed as an endangered species. Once common along the coast of California, these grazing snails, okay, it's a snail, were decimated by overharvesting in the 1970s. The aquarium is part of a conservation network committed to recovering the population by breeding them under human care and then releasing them into the wild. Each snail is marked with a number, and monitoring surveys are conducted to track their progress. Okay, so they're monitored, so they know exactly how well they're doing or not doing. So that's pretty cool. Oh, there's one back there in the corner, if you look there. I see, so they got little markings on them so they know their progress. So that's really cool. There's some more over there as well. So I thought this was one earlier, but that just looks like a shell, seashell, that fish has turned into its home. So that's very cool. Let's take a look and see what else we got here that might stand out amongst the exhibit. I saw these guys earlier, but they look a lot more lively now. So these are sand dollars. These are sand dollars, and then these fish are a part of, this is a rare type of purple. I was reading about it. It's a rare type of purple coral, if I'm not mistaken, and it's protected, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I'm sorry, that might be the other one, but anyhow. And then you've got kelp in here as well. Let's see what else we've got. This is kind of cool because this area essentially replicates how artificial human systems get turned into reefs. So as you can see here, there's tons of aquatic life, but this is literally, these are giant beams here. If you look closely, you can see these are kind of poles, and they put them in here, and then from those poles, life just, it becomes its own little ecosystem. So that's kind of a really cool concept, how life can kind of do that. Let's see what else we've got here. So coming over here, yeah, these are the really beautiful rare purple. These are underwater rocky columns and mountains. It's called Farnsworth Bank. They have rare purple hydrocorals. They live here. So it's a design protected area because, as you can see, this purple coral is not a common sight. You don't see this often. Coral is usually white. So the fact that this is purple makes it really, really unique. So you can kind of admire that and take a look at the different types of purple corals that are here at this specific exhibit. And then over here, you've got painted greenlings, California golden, Gorgonian, colonial cope coral, California hydrocoral, chili pepper rockfish, half-banded rockfish, marine metals, marinas. Seagrass is a nursery for juvenile fish, a natural protection against coastal erosion as a reservoir for carbon. Seagrass was once common throughout California's area, but development, other things, etc., have destroyed a lot of it. So the recovery is possible. So under Newport Bay and other locations, they're starting to bring back seagrass. Okay. That makes sense. The seagrass provides its natural part into the ecosystem of the creatures that benefit from it. It's almost like anything, you know, there's trees and gardens, there's plants, they all serve their purpose. So when you start destroying things, you ruin it. It's a really big tank. This is giant kelpfish, shiner surf perch, a jack smelt, a horn shark, spiny sand star. So those are some of the creatures that I don't know if all those are in this tank, but yeah, it's very beautiful, and you can see how large that tank is. It's very, very beautiful. This is cool. Gelatinous drifters, jellies. So let's make this its own. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed that first part.